Good morning. Welcome to xCraft's webinar. We are just getting ready here. And we're waiting for people to join in. I know it's not morning for everybody. We're in Pacific time zone, so it's morning for us. Do we have anyone from, I see Nashville, Tennessee, welcome. And turn the our PowerPoint on here, and pretty soon, okay, we got Dallas, Texas, we got Seattle, Washington, Austin, Texas, Reading, Pennsylvania, New York, Annapolis, Maryland, ooh, Cancun, Mexico. Welcome. Guadalajara, Mexico. Welcome. Springfield, Missouri, Florida, Tennessee. Got people from everywhere joining. Well, real excited to share with you guys this morning. I'm JD Claridge, the CEO and co-founder of xCraft, and I want to just welcome everybody this morning and give you a little taste of xCraft and who we are, and also what it means to be an investor in xCraft. And we've got a slide presentation here that I'd like to share with you. So you should have that up on your screen. Looks like we have 59 folks who are joining us here, and I think we've got most people ready to go. So I'll go ahead and get started. So feel free to ask questions as we're going here. I will. So the format will be that I'll go through our slide deck here on investing in xCraft, and then I will answer questions at the end. It'll be Q&A time at the end. So just post your questions in the question section, and then we'll answer them at the end. So appreciate you joining us and taking part in this. This is an exciting thing, and we're glad that you're here. So xCraft, who we are. So xCraft, I started xCraft with my co-founder Charles about 7 years ago. Our 7-year anniversary was just a few days ago, actually. And our vision is to develop powerful flying robots that change the world. So it's a pretty big vision, but it definitely is my passion, and always has been. Flying things have always been my passion, and technology is right up there too. And I love technology. I love making things fly. I love also starting new things. I mean, starting new businesses. I've started a couple, and this has been an exciting journey for me. So our mission is to see the Earth become a better planet for mankind by cultivating love, personal fulfillment, and innovation. So those are important. You know, the place that you work, you want to like it, you want to love it, and we want people to engage with xCraft and our community, and have through that a sense of personal fulfillment. And innovation has always been a really important thing for us as well. And that's why our products are kind of different than a lot of the products that are out there. in this space. And then we have 4 core values in our company. We perpetuate a high velocity of American innovation. We expect excellence and measured by results. We surpass our customers' expectations while delivering undeniable value. And we value character as a core trait in our team. So what we do is we develop autonomous flight vehicles and technology for enterprise and military verticals. So we have 4 market segments that we primarily focus on. The first is public safety and security. Second is geospatial and agriculture. That would be surveying, mapping, as well as agriculture, precision agriculture, and other things. Defense is another vertical. And urban air mobility, or UAM, so flying cars. So we have several products that are out on the market, and more that we're working on. This is showing some of our current products. The X+1 was our very first product. It's a Vtol, and it transitions and flies like an airplane, but it can take off and land vertically, and it's more of a hobbyist product. And we originally started this through our Kickstarter campaign that we ran to get this product out, and that was what kind of got this company started. Was that product. We had patented the technology behind it, but we wanted to get a product out there on the market and just see what the market reception was. So it was a successful one, and that product is now end of life, but it would launch into the world of autonomous flight for xCraft. We also have the X2, which is a commercial version of the X+1. So it has better flight time, better payload than the X+1, and carries some higher grade sensors like thermal cameras and other things. We have the Maverick, which is a ducted rotor drone, and it's meant for flying in confined spaces and as well as underground and GPS denied environments. It's got a 250-gram payload, and primarily for public safety, also some applications in mining, and some underground mining applications. So we're excited about that. The Matrix is a larger drone. It's an X8 configuration, and it's for security and defense verticals. And it's got a 2 kilogram payload on that. The Shadow is a tethered drone, and it's a portable tethered drone. So it fits in a Pelican case, can be carried around. It just plugs into a standard outlet, and can be it's got a 100-foot tether on it. So a tethered drone is a unique thing, and we really think that there's a lot of applications for tethered drones in the market. So a tethered drone gets power from the ground, and it runs up a tether in line. So at all times you have power to the drone. You don't have to rely on a battery that gets exhausted. So you can remain in the air for long periods of time, potentially weeks on end. The only limitation would be motors, and specifically the bearings in the motors and how long they last. But they usually last for several hundred hours. So usually that's several weeks that you could remain airborne. And that can be good for a lot of different applications like security, public safety, construction, mining, open pit mining. There's a lot of applications like that can use a tethered drone product. So the Shadow is it's autonomous, but it's not fully autonomous. So it can be programmed to fly and take off and fly, but it does need a manual operator. The Panda Drone is our newest product, and that does not need an operator on site. It can be operated from a tablet on site, or it can be operated from a browser anywhere in the world as long as you're connected to the internet. So obviously there's FAA rules that govern how you can fly beyond visual line of sight and other things, and we help our customers with that. But it is capable of that operation. So we're pretty excited about the Panda Drone. It's a drone. It sits inside of we call it the nest, and when it's launched, the lid opens up, the drone comes out, and it can fly up to 400 feet. and do surveillance activities. It can be a communication relay, so you can put a specific communication antenna in the drone and get it up to 400 feet, and then just let it sit there so you can cover large area. It can even be used as a kind of a temporary cell tower. So that's a pretty exciting thing. And then once you want to come down, it just stays in the air. You can control various things, like you control the camera, zoom, tilt, and then when you want it to come down, basically you just push one button, either from a browser or from the tablet at the site, and the vehicle will descend and land automatically in the nest, and then the lid closes. It's in an environmentally controlled box, and it's ready to go for the next launch. So we're pretty excited about Panda Drone. It's our flagship product right now. So the leadership of xCraft, myself and Charles Manning, who started the company. My background is aerospace engineering. I say I have 35 years of making things fly. I figured probably started when I was about 7 or so, making things fly. And I became an aerospace engineer. I'm a pilot. I'm an aircraft mechanic. So I just love all things flying. And my partner, my co-founder, Charles Manning, he's a software architect. He started also several companies. The latest one that he's running right now it's a company called Kochava that does mobile analytics. And they're a pretty large company that handles large clients like Disney and ABC and some other clients. Maybe not ABC. I know he handles Disney. So my director, Ben Caves, is how you say his name. He was the CEO of a tool company here that makes floor cutting equipment, and that company has since been acquired. But he's still actively involved and very much involved in leadership of the company. And probably our most famous leadership team member is Burt Rutan, who is an aviation pioneer. He's an amazing individual. He's up in the upper right corner there. He if you don't know who Burt Rutan is, just Google him. But he started a company called Scaled Composites in Mojave, California, and they have created some amazing aircraft designs for various types of applications. And he's got several claims to fame. One of the big, there's two larger ones. One is he designed and built his team, and he designed and built the first aircraft to circumnavigate the globe without refueling. So basically flying all the way around the Earth without landing. And that was done, I think that was done in the 80s, so quite a while ago. And then the more recent one was their team designed the Spaceship One, which was a predecessor to the Virgin Galactic spacecraft. So they won the Ansari X Prize. That was the first non-government space flight. So they were able to get into space on a very much a shoestring budget compared to what NASA spends, and then bring that person safely back to Earth, and they won that prize. I think it was a $10 million prize at the time, but that's a very big achievement. They were the first commercial agency to do that. Now you've got SpaceX now and other companies that are doing this, but no one else had done it prior to Burt Rutan and his team with Spaceship One. So he's on our advisory board. He's a great guy, has a lot of really good input for us as we are kind of breaking some barriers, I would say, on urban air mobility, and those are exciting things. So he's assisting with that, and he's been very key in that. We have several patents. This is maybe a little boring, but this was part of the foundation of the company, is to secure our technology through patents, and we have several issued patents. for our technology. They are either unmanned vehicles or actual aircraft, patents for actual aircraft. We also have a pending patents as well as some issued trademarks and patents. So there's growth, potential, and opportunity here at xCraft. We've got staying power. For a drone company, we've been around quite a while, since 2014. I would still classify us as a startup, but it has been 7 years, and we've seen a lot of other companies come and go during that time. So I think that just our approach and how we've been able to manage has, and the ups and downs of this industry, and a very new industry when it comes to commercial use case of drones. I mean, the military's been using them for a while, but the public and the commercial entities really have not. So that's been a challenge, and to grow a company in that amount of time is pretty interesting, and I think is a testament to how we've been able to kind of stick around and still be here and still innovating. So we do have some street credit. If you didn't know, we were on Shark Tank, and that was pretty interesting. That was a surreal experience for me. It was myself and Charles were on the show, and if you can look up on YouTube, you can just type in xCraft Shark Tank, and you should find a little clip of our episode. But we did manage to get all 5 sharks on our deal, and that was an interesting experience, and it was definitely a good thing for the company, as you might expect. We have a lot of exposure. There was something like 20 million viewers in the first night, and then they re-air it. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, because they re-air that pretty often, and every time they do, we get a huge bump in traffic on our website. And if we have Start Engine campaign up, it's always good for that too. So I would definitely do it again if given the opportunity for Shark Tank. It was a good experience. And then as far as experience, we have been around for a while, and we've done designs and production for almost a dozen different UAV designs. I've also personally been part of FAA aircraft certification programs. FAA stands for Federal Aviation Administration, and any aircraft that is intended to carry people, for the most part, will have to get FAA certification. And we see that as part of our future. So I have experience with that. I have been a designee for the FAA. It's called a designated engineering representative, and it allows me to sign off designs for the FAA, kind of do their work for them, essentially. I'm not currently a DER, but that has been in my past, and we have experience with that. So as that time gets closer for us to actually be certifying flying car designs, I think we will have a good amount of experience to get that process working. And then something that we've more recently kind of put out in a public way is that we are working on some silent propulsion technology. I really see that I don't think that the UAM market, urban air mobility market, can really take off, pun intended, until we are at a place where the vehicles are quiet. If you can imagine, especially in an urban environment, helicopters, I mean, essentially taking off and landing in a very crowded urban environment, it's just not going to be something that flies. It's not going to happen. The public is not going to allow that. And so we're pretty excited about some of the technology that we're working on, and that's the longer term vision of what we see for xCraft. And but we've already started on some of that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's ahead. What are we looking at, and what's on the horizon for xCraft? And we are right now working on a new website, which is a pretty large undertaking, but we're putting a lot of work into that. We're building our distribution network. We've brought in some partners, both domestic and international, and we're continuing to build that. We're going to be doing some more outreach for that in the near future. And then we are also developing some new products. We're always developing new products, and we're excited about the new ones. You guys are going to see some of them, and they're pretty exciting. There's some new opportunities that we see as far as UAV products. We're also building a team. We're hiring, and we are continuing to hire in the right places and hire smartly, because it's a little challenging right now. Hiring is, honestly, and so we're in that process. We're in that fight, and we're bringing on good people. And then also for the urban air mobility market, we have some exciting things planned for that. So this is starting, even now we've started some of this activity, but it will continue into 2022 and beyond. So just talking about the new website, what we're doing for the new website is it's pretty much a complete redesign and a totally fresh look. It's B2B focused. Our current website, unfortunately, is more consumer focused, and we really we're a B2B company for the most part, and we're going to let our website reflect that. We're also going to have specific industry verticals that are outlined, things like I've already talked about with public safety, with agriculture, with defense, and so all those areas will have their own section on our website that they can go to and kind of learn about our products that fit in those markets verticals. And then we're going to offer something that's kind of unique. I don't see anybody else doing this. We're going to offer live drone demos. So you'll have the ability to sign up on our website, but we will offer through our website, you will actually be able to, we'll have a Panda Drone set up and ready, connected to the internet, and at specific times we will actually fly that Panda Drone, and then you can through the internet, everybody will be able to see how that Panda Drone operates, see the view from the camera in real time, be able to potentially control some of the functions of the drone. We obviously will have safety pilots on site, but you will see in live action what's going on with the drone. So that's something fairly unique, and I think it will help. Obviously, the intent is to help our sales and marketing channels, and I'm excited about that. We'll also have investor resources and tools for you folks. So we're posting all our annual reporting and various shareholder information that we have on our website. So that's a tool for our investors that we will have on the website. So as far as building out our distribution network, we are implementing a distributor dealer model. So we'll have distributors that cover a large either geographical area or a specific market vertical. And then under them will be dealers where they buy the product through. And the distributors sell to the dealers, and then the dealers sell to the end user. And so it's a pretty standard model. That's what we're using, and we have, as of right now, we have distributors set up in Australia, in the US, obviously. We're working on in South America, Mexico, and in Canada as well. So that's something I mentioned that we're going to be pushing out as well, doing some more outreach to bring in additional distributors and dealers. So something that potentially some of you listening might be interested in taking part of. So we'd love to hear from you if so. We also will offer international exclusive partnerships for given regions, and that's something that we are setting up in several areas. So new products. This is the exciting part for me. I'm kind of a tech nerd, and I love the new products. So we've been working on some exciting things. Panda Drone 2.0 is our next version of the Panda Drone, and there's not a whole lot of changes from. I mean, sorry, as far as changes, there are several. The primary change is that it's aesthetics for the most part, and then we also have some software improvements. So that box you're seeing there is our current Panda Drone, and our new one will be much better aesthetically looking. But as far as the operation, we're also adding some features that allow it to be easier to operate. So we're excited about that. Shadow 2.0 is all happening, and that is our portable tethered drone. So we refined that one also for aesthetics, and then some improved capabilities for handling different payloads. Matrix RTK is another one. It's a precision mapping drone, and we're excited about that. It's a drone that will if you're not familiar with RTK, it's real-time kinematics. It's precision GPS. So it gets your GPS accuracy down to centimeter level. And for surveying and mapping, that's exactly what you want. And so we're excited about that. We're introducing not only the drone that's RTK capable, but also a base station that ties into that drone and allows you to have corrections sent to the drone so that you can have the real-time kinematics happening. So excited about that as well. We also have a micro tactical thermal drone we're going to be introducing this coming year, and that is it's a small drone. It's under 250 grams. So the FAA does not require, in this country, does not require a Part 107 license for operating a drone that's under 250 grams. So that's one reason that we made it light. It's also a lot more able to get is that larger drones can't. So indoor spaces and tight, in trees or whatever else. And it's also got a thermal camera, so it can sense heat, and it's a pretty interesting product that we're excited about. That one also has about a 30-minute flight time, so that's a pretty long flight time for a small little drone, and I think it will be a very successful product for us. Something that's been close to my heart is hybrid Vtol. So Vtol is vertical takeoff and landing. It's drones that can take off anywhere vertically and land anywhere vertically, but can you transition and fly with a wing more like an airplane. So you get better efficiency, you get usually faster flight, and it's an exciting thing. So we've been working on a product called the Kestrel, which is a Vtol product, and that's an extended range. It's actually got about a 2-hour endurance on it, and we're excited about that one as well. So as far as building a team, this is where we're focused for this coming year, and we are building our sales team, our marketing team, our software development team, and customer service. That's always, I want to maintain a high level of customer service. So we're really building out our team there. And then our production team. So being able to produce these, and we do partner with local contract manufacturing. All of our products are made in the US. A lot of them are made very much locally within about 50 miles or so of where we are here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And but we do have production folks that we need for final assembly and for testing and flight, flight testing as well. So those are critical, and we're excited to be building the team. So talking a little bit about flying cars, you can see our design there. It's pretty exciting. I think that the real vision for a flying car, ultimately, I think the Jetsons had it right. It can fit the whole family. It just takes you wherever you need to go. It just makes a cute little bubble sound when it's flying. I mean that would work. I mean, as far as getting that to market, having a market acceptance of that product with the Jetsons car, I think that's the ultimate idea of where I think we need to go. And so that's why we're developing this quiet propulsion technology, and we've been engaging IP attorneys, and we're also initiating R&D activities around that to make it more official. And that's kind of been one of the goals with this latest start engine raise, and we're excited to be able to finally kind of officially put that out there and start the work. So that is our pitch deck, and happy to take questions at this point. So it looks like we have quite a few. So I'm going to just read through here, if that's all right. Looks like we have 74 attendees on. Thank you all again for joining. This has been fun. And one of our, I mean, this is a new experience, honestly, for me and for us, is putting on a live webinar. But so far, so good, and we're enjoying it. So hopefully you guys are too. So one of the questions was, is PPK is more accurate than RTK? Do you have a plan to support PPK? And that answer would be yes. The difference between PPK and RTK, as some of you may know, is that PPK is post-process kinematics. RTK is real-time kinematics. So with RTK, you need a real-time connection, and with the drone to supply corrections. With PPK, it's processed after the fact, and it can be more accurate. Our products do support PPK as well as RTK. So that answers that question. So Martin asked the question, what job openings exist at xCraft? Will you begin to build sales and marketing people and channel partners? And the answer is yes. And please feel free to reach out through our website or at support@xcraft.io if you are interested. And we will also be getting some job postings up there very soon. So some other questions, thoughts, let's see. So Chris asked, what real-world applications does your line of drones address, and who are your existing customers? How do you obtain revenue? It's a good question. So as far as real-world applications, we have several, and they focus on those market verticals that we talked about. One of them is surveying. So being able to take a drone out, take a series of downward-facing, high-resolution images that are then stitched together post-process to create a 3D map, so photogrammetry. And that's an application. So surveyors use this a lot, and as well as it's used in agriculture and other things for checking on crops. It's used in construction. There's a lot of different applications for that type of technology, real-world applications. Existing customers, I don't know if we can talk too much about publicly. We do talk. We do have some surveying companies, some agricultural companies, some public safety agencies. I haven't gotten approval to talk publicly about them, so I can't talk too much. But we do have partners and customers within those verticals. And how do we obtain revenue? So currently, it's kind of two-part. We do we do sell our product. Obviously, we sell the drones and the software. We're working on a model to have a recurring model for the software side of it, and that's something that will be happening eventually. We still offer, and this has been something we've had from the beginning, is basically development services. So we will, for other clients, develop a particular product that can be used by them. So we have the chops and the capability to design and manufacture products, and clients have hired us in the past to do that for various type of applications, especially in our kind of core functionalities, which would be Vtol aircraft, and also tethered is also one of the key areas that we're in. So looking at some other questions here. How much do I need to invest to get an xCraft? I'm not sure if that was to get a drone or to get to invest in xCraft, but I'm assuming it's invest. So if you go to startengine.com, and I believe that in the chat we're posting a link to our investment page, and that's on Start Engine, and investments start at $352, I believe, and some change, and that's the minimum investment, and then it can go up from there. And so we're excited about that. It's a pretty reasonable, affordable investment for most people, and you do get I can't remember exactly how many shares you get for that minimum investment. I think it's 50 or so. I don't know. Might want to correct me or check me on that, but that is the minimum. And then there's no maximum as long as you do have to make some statements about your income, because the SEC doesn't want people spending all their money on these startups. So if they aren't accredited investors, they want to make sure that there is a max on these crowdfunding campaigns for non-accredited investors. Look at the questions again here. All right. Let's see any more. Just see if, okay, so do we have any DoD orders or interest is a question from Michael. And yes, we have orders. At this point, not as large as we would like. We have gone after a few contracts now that we haven't won, but we're going to keep at that and hopefully build that customer base. It is a key vertical for us, and we're continuing down that path. We have folks that are specifically focused on that channel, and we have sold product to the Air Force, actually Air Force Academy, and we also have some other Department of Interior is another. So we definitely have products that are in the space that are getting out there. But it's a channel that we're still building. So I think that so Armando asked, what have been your 3 greatest challenges in sustaining the company? How do your products differentiate from the competing grounds? And it's a good question, Armando. So what are the 3 greatest challenges? That's interesting. I would say one of them is definitely kind of keeping the company focused on the ultimate goal, which is to develop powerful flying machines that change the world. I mean, really disruptive innovation within this space, and to keep that focus, even though there's been a lot of a flooding of the market with low cost and quite capable consumer products. And really what differentiates us is that we don't just build a drone necessarily for anyone. We do develop very specific solutions for a given need. So in the case of Panda Drone, it's not really a one size fits all. Not everybody needs a tethered drone or a fully autonomous tethered drone, but many people do need, and many industries need, a drone that can sit on site for long periods of time and then take off and fly from and be launched from a remote location and then sustain flight for weeks, potentially on end, and then land and remain in an environmentally controlled box. There are a lot of use cases for that, as we've talked about, in mining and construction and public safety, and so we're excited about kind of how that differentiation works. So hopefully I answered that question, Armando. So Roger asked, what is the impact and how helpful is it that Chinese drones are allegedly compromised from a security and national defense perspective? Well, that's a good question, Roger, and I do think that there's truth to the fact, there's truth to that a lot of these Chinese drones are compromised as far as how the data is handled after you collect it with the drone. So how the imagery and the flight logs and other things are used, and who might have access to that later on. And that is not a concern with xCraft's products. We develop our own software, and we manufacture the product ourselves in the US. So we are very tight on our control of the security and also for our own national defense for the US. So I do think that there's also DJI has been put on which is a Chinese drone manufacturer. They've been put on the entity list for the US, which just basically means there's some questions about their products and what might be happening. So that's been a good thing, I would say, for us. I would, at least in the US. I don't know if that resonates for worldwide, but I think it does for us, and that's something that I want to make sure that the message that we get across is that our products do not have those security vulnerabilities, and also our products are made right here in the US. So there's a question about I'm just looking through the other questions here, and it looks like we have another 45 minutes or so. Let me see if there's any more. So I'll do a last call for questions if you want to get them in. I am trying to answer. I know I'm not hitting necessarily all of them. I apologize. I am trying to hit as many as I can. So don't be too mad if I don't answer your question. So one of the questions was from Thomas, when will we see real people in real test flights? We could see that right now. I'm not sure if you mean an update on our campaign or what, Thomas, but we definitely try to have a good amount of, obviously we have our whole team on all of our test flights. So, and we've been trying to get more video and images while we've been out test flying so that we can post them on social and other things. So we will be, if you haven't seen them, we will be sending out more, and we are real people. We don't use fake people. All right. Go through one more time here. So, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but I don't know if it's Elijah, but asked, how many drones have you made, sold, and what is current revenue? So all that information is available on our campaign page under the offering documents, and you can take a look and see. It is from the past. If you become a new investor, you will have access to the current financials, where we update at least annually. Actually, it's actually twice a year that we need to update, and that's an SEC requirement that we send out financials and kind of an update. So we do that. And so if you want to have a look at our financials, take a look at the campaign page under offering documents. So there is quite a few questions about going public, and if there's a plan for that. I will say that's always been on the table for us, and it's definitely, we've put some more steps toward that recently, but I can't comment obviously on too much. But it's definitely something that we're interested in, and when the time is right, it's likely something that we would take a very close look at. So I'll just take a few more questions here. We've got another 11 minutes, it looks like, until we're done. Dan asked, do you think the flying car is what got investors interested? There's lots of drones out there, and that's true. I do think that brings interest. Something that probably most people don't know is that has been the vision from the beginning of xCraft, is to develop technology around flying cars. That's always been my dream. And so it's always been there, just not publicly. And so we brought that out in the last campaign here on Start Engine, and we're excited to share that with the world, and kind of share some of our ideas, at least, with the world of our technology and where we're headed. So I do think that helps bring people in to invest in the company, because they see the future of that. So questions also about dividends and when will we be given out. So we have obviously a great group of existing investors who have been with us. This is our third campaign on Start Engine, and we ran two. They're called Reg CF campaigns, which were $1 million campaigns, and then now this one is a Reg A, and that's a larger campaign. It's a $7 million, and a lot more requirements on us as far as how we go through that. It's a little bit more like being a public company. So we know that there's a good amount of investors out there who are looking at xCraft and wanting to see a return on their money and potentially dividends. And that's something that we're always keeping our eye on our board, as far as when we can do that in a smart way that works well for the company. I think there's financial milestones, I'll say, for the company that we need to achieve before we can start giving out dividends. But I can assure you that our investors will be the first to benefit from from company profitability. So there's questions about Texas from Michael. We've posted an update about looking at Texas for production site, and that is still in the works. We're very interested, and also working on some more more specific areas. We looked at some areas around Waco, and we're now also looking at some areas around El Paso, and it's definitely something that I think is in the near term that we will be looking at. It might be beyond 2022, but it is going to be soon. And we're looking at some partners in those areas that could potentially help bring in additional resources and help to partner with companies in the area, and also with the local agencies that have economic development for the areas, so that they can also help with tax incentives and other things. So that's an ongoing process, and it's a big nut to crack. But we definitely love Texas, and we'd love to have some operations there. I should be clear in saying that that it's not the plan to move all of the company there and have all of the company there necessarily. We do like where we're at as far as having at least a presence here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where we are. But we do see the advantages of Texas, and we're continuing to look at that. All right, so we've got another 6 minutes here. I can take a few more questions. So I'll talk through. There's questions on our $6 million PO, and so we recently received a purchase order, a large purchase order from a company for 100 Panda Drone units, and the amount of the purchase order was it was over $6 million. And these drones are, this company services construction companies, so they will be selling this product, reselling this product to construction companies, and it will provide site security and monitoring for large building projects. And so it will allow the executives of the construction company to view real-time progress at the construction site, and also provide for security at the site, because you can get an amazing perspective when you can fly up to 400 feet high. Also, we're working on approvals for beyond visual line of sight flight for those installations, as well as night flight, because those would be crucial in that type of an application. So we are planning to start delivering those products, or those Panda drones, beginning in February of 2022. And as right now everything is on track, we have an order of one that we are actually shipping, and that should be within the next 3 to 4 weeks that we'll be shipping that unit. And then the follow-on purchase order is for the 100 more, and that, like I said, will hopefully start happening in February. The plan would be that we will fulfill that whole PO in 2022. There still has to be some pieces that fit together in order to make that all happen, but we are excited about it. I think it's a huge thing for the company, and it shows the potential of what this does. And so we have, I think, this is just one customer. I mean, lot of other customers and potential customers out there who can use this technology. So, but having this one is and getting them out there, I think is going to be key to us being able to reach additional customers and get more product out there. So probably have time for one more question here. Let me see if I can find one. So Miles asked if we have any technology or it's applicable to underwater drones. And I would say, yes, our technology is applicable, especially the tethered side of it. I will, point back to our vision, which is to develop powerful flying machines that change the world. And for the most part, we do focus on air vehicles that fly in the air, not fly in water. But I think that a lot of our technology could actually be used, as far as communication, as far as the tethering and that sort of thing. So I think we're getting very close here. See if there's one more question I can address. People want to have more webinars. That's great. Yeah, this has been fun. Fun for me. Hopefully for you guys too. It's really interesting to find out who's been there and watching us and potentially considering investing. And I know some of you are actual investors, and I thank you so much for your investment. You've allowed us to do these amazing things, and we want to really honor you guys, especially for being there, and we want to welcome any new investors and anybody who might be considering it right now. Please take a look at our Start Engine campaign on the link posted there, and let us know what you think. We're working on some other interesting things too on Start Engine, where we're going to have a new landing page that will be better designed to help our investors, and we're excited about it as well. So please take a look. Check us out on xCraft.io and our Start Engine campaign at startengine.com/xCraft, and we'll hopefully see you on the investor list soon. Thank you all for attending.